Rich Dad, Poor Dad is a 1997 book by Robert T. Kiyosaki and Sharon Lechter. The key message of the book revolves around financial education and mindset. The book contrasts the philosophies and practice of Kiyosaki's biological father, referred to in the book as Poor Dad, and the father of his childhood friend, referred to as Rich Dad. The book encourages reader to rethink the approach to money, investing, and work. It promotes financial literacy, a shift in mindset, and taking control of one's financial destiny through entrepreneurship and smart investment decisions. Welcome to Learning from the Masters. I am Obehi Ewanfoh, author of the Storytelling Mastery, a 5-part book series that takes you by the hands through the journey of storytelling. This series is dedicated to some of the greatest masters out there who have done their best and have left behind their masterpieces for us to learn from while refining our own skills. To learn more, join our Storytelling Mastery for businesses at academy.aclasses.org/storytelling mastery. You can also pick up any of the 5 books on aclasses.org or any other place you prefer online. Now back to the presentation. Now here are the 7 key business storytelling strategies from Rich Dad and Poor Dad by Robert T. Kiyosaki. Lesson 1. The power of financial education. In the book, Robert Kiyosaki emphasizes the importance of financial education through the lessons he learned from his Rich Dad. Rich Dad taught him that understanding money, investing, and financial principles is crucial for building wealth. Now, this is something a lot of people must pay attention to, in that you cannot grow beyond the level of your awareness, which is to say that if you want to grow beyond the level you are today, you need more awareness, more knowledge. And like Ed and Gia will say, knowledge is everywhere today. We have the choice to be able to learn what we want to learn, or we can remain in our ignorance. But note that knowledge will always rule over ignorance any day, any time. So Robert Kiyosaki, in this first lesson of the book, The Power of Financial Education, is telling the reader, and of course all of us, that if we want to move out of the rat race, we need a certain amount of knowledge about how money works. Now, what is the application in business? Well, in your business, share personal experiences of how gaining financial education have transformed your perspective. You could illustrate how this knowledge helps you make informed decisions, manage risk, and ultimately achieve success. Encourage your audience to prioritize learning about money to make smarter financial choices in their own venture. Lesson 2. Assets versus liability. Kiyosaki distinguishes between asset and liability, highlighting that wealthy individuals focus on acquiring assets that guarantee income rather than accumulating liability that drain their finances. I am not pretending to be a financial expert or expert in financial education, but what Kiyosaki is telling us here is that we need to know the difference between what can get you money and what can take money away from your pocket. In that, if what you are accumulating is what is going to take money away from your pocket, that is a liability, in that you are spending money on that asset. But there are other assets that put money into your pocket. Those type of property are regarded as asset, and of course they can be either landed property, they can be houses, they can be cars, for example. But as long as they put money into your pocket, they are regarded as asset. Let me give you an example using car or using a house, for example. If you have a house where you put tenant and the tenant are paying you every month, that is an asset, in that at the end of the month, this property is putting money into your pocket. But you can also have a house because you need a place to stay. Maybe in this house, you buy it or you build it, but that particular property is not putting money into your pocket. That is regarded as a liability because you are always spending on it. So these simple but clear distinctions need to be made if we want to understand how to gain money or how to become wealthy. Because if you are spending on it, it's taking something away from you. Whereas if you are earning from it, you are going to grow richer depending on how much you are earning and how you are able to use that which you are gaining from that property. So this distinction is very important. Now, what about the application in business? Well, narrate a story from your business journey where you realize the difference between asset and liability. Explain how strategically investing in income-generating assets such as a profitable product line or a well-performing investment contributed to the growth of your business. You could also encourage your audience to evaluate their own business portfolio and make conscious choice to build assets. Because like I just said, you need to understand the difference between the property that you own that can put money in your pocket and the property that you own that you are continuously spending on. They are not the same and they are not going to give you the same result. Lesson number 3, the importance of entrepreneurship. Now, Rich Dad encourages Kiyosaki to embrace entrepreneurship to financial independence, stressing that being an employee might not lead to true wealth. What does that mean? When we are growing up, we are encouraged to go to school so we can take up employment. But what this usually do to us is that it looks like a little goat that is being fed sugar. It's sweet, it's very enticing all the time, but it's not going to be able to lead you to financial independence. In that the person you are working for is the one that is getting the money at the end of the day. It's like you are working. The money that you are working, you are giving it to somebody. The person is taking it and giving you a small percentage of it that we can refer to here as salary. Which means that if at the end of the month, your salary is $3,000 or $1,000, it means that you have worked at least not less than $5,000. The $2,000 that is taken away from you is given to the person who is employing you because that is the person's business. But yours, because you are not the one taking risk, you don't have the offset of that. Which means that if you want to get rich, you must learn to become an entrepreneur where you are no longer selling your hour for money, but selling your expertise, your skill, because you can always expand your skill, you can always grow your skill, but you cannot grow your hour. A day is only 24 hours and there is nothing you can do about that. But as far as your skill is concerned, you can always improve what you know and earn more. So what you could do, even if you remain employed, is to increase the quality that you are putting into the hour, not the number of the hour that you are imputing. And how simple is it for you to be replaced in what you are doing? If it is a simple thing, then any person can take up your job. But if what you are doing, you are not easy to be replaced, like you are a medical doctor or you are an engineer, then you can charge more for your hour. But even then, there is still a limit to what you can do because you are only being paid according to the hour that you do. Whereas as an entrepreneur, you are not limited by that kind of logic. You can earn as much as you want as long as your skill is valuable to the marketplace. Now, what is the application in business storytelling? Well, share your entrepreneurial journey, highlighting the challenges and victory you face. Explain how taking the leap into entrepreneurship allows you to control your financial destiny and pursue opportunity beyond the traditional employment. Inspire your audience to consider entrepreneurship as a viable path towards financial success. Lesson 4. Embrace risk and learn from failures. Rich Dad teaches Kiyosaki to view failure as an opportunity to learn and grow, emphasizing that taking calculated risk is an integral part of wealth building. Now, does it even make any sense talking of failures, talking of success? Of course, yes, because when we are born, we don't have all the skill that is required to navigate this complex experience called life. And the way that we can learn this is by failing. It's because when we fail to the point that failure is no longer considered as an obstacle on our way, then we can have a lot of success on our way. Now, to illustrate this for you, imagine a child that is born and is growing up. The child tries to stand. Let's even say sitting. The child tries to sit. He tries and he falls down. He tries and he bumps his head on the ground. It continues like this until the child knows how to sit properly like a normal human being. But what about walking? Many times the child will try to walk, but it will fall. It will continue to fall, but it will never stop. The child keeps learning how to stand and walk and keep falling until the point that the child can now finally walk. That is how we function in life. In that we don't just learn how to be successful. We first learn how to fail, and by failing, we learn how to be successful. Now, if you do door-to-door selling like most people will be used to, you understand that if you go to knock in 5 or 6 or 10 or 100 houses, maybe only 10 of them or 5 of them are going to say yes to you if you are selling an invisible product, for example, even if you are selling a physical product, because many people are not only going to say yes to you when you offer them something that you are selling. Many are going to say no. If what you understand is just no, and therefore you go home, you're not going to be able to sell anything. You look like the child now who is afraid to fall, and for this reason the child never walk. Instead, you need to take it that those no are going to gradually push you until you finally get the yes, which is like the child that continue to fall and make an effort to stand. And when that child learns to stand, and in this case you learn to be resilient and continue to take the no, at the point you no longer count the failure. You will not be able to reap the reward, so that you have no, then at the point you have yes, no, then yes again. That is how the game of life is played. So Kiyosaki in this book is telling us to embrace this risk and learn from our failure, because failure, there is no way of avoiding failure in life. But if we have a change of mindset to understand that this is how life is set up, we should not be frightened when we fail, because failure is just part of the game. Now, how do we apply this in business storytelling? Well, you could tell a story of a business venture that didn't go as planned but provided valuable lesson. Like maybe the child I was talking about before. When you fall, it is not the end of the road. The question is, what did you learn from that lesson? Because that is a lesson for you to learn. If you don't learn that lesson, you are going to fall again. You continue to fall until you learn that lesson, so that when you are about to fall, you know how to sort of balance yourself and you will keep going. So illustrate how you analyze the failure, adjust your approach, and ultimately turn it into a stepping stone for your success. Encourage your audience to embrace risk, learn from failure, and persist in their entrepreneurial journey. Of course, I understand that when talking of risk now, I'm not necessarily saying that you should just climb to a 10-story building and jump down to crash yourself on the ground. No. In business, it's called calculated risk. It that having failed a number of times, you don't understand what to do and what type of risk you should take. Because in life, you are going to take risk. It's not going to be easy for you. Whether the risk that you are taking is flying a jet plane, or is taking a business where you are not 100% sure that it's going to be successful, you are going to take risk. Life can only be experienced when you are out of the comfort zone, when you are not afraid of failure, when you can embrace risk, when you are not 100% sure of what is going to happen, but you still embrace it because you want to experience life. Life is yours to experience. So take risk and embrace the failure along the way. Lesson 5. Building passive income stream. Rich Dad teaches Kiyosaki the importance of creating passive income streams such as investment and businesses that guarantee money without constant active involvement. Now, you see, this is what we were talking about before, in that if your stream of income is only one, in this case, maybe a salary, and that is what you are basing everything on. You might think that this is not risky because at the end of the month they are going to pay you, but that is actually more risky. In that now, if you fall sick, your employer is not going to give you a guarantee that they will continue to pay you, because your employer is a business. You need to continue to put your hour before they can pay you. If you cut your leg off, okay, maybe you might have some insurance and they might be compelled by the law to pay you for a certain amount of time, maybe for like another 6 months or so, or maybe 1 year. But after that, you are out. They are going to sack you. You cannot become a liability for them where they are continuously paying you. You are not making any input to the company. So as you can see now, that is even more risky than when you take the risk to create something for yourself where you have different stream of income, like $10 coming from there, $20 coming from there, or $50 coming from some places. That is the best way to sort of set up your life, so that by this different stream of income coming from different places, by the time you put them together at the end of the day, you see you have a reasonable amount of money to live by. So it's the best way to go, building different stream of income. But what different stream of income could you do? For example, you could create a course, you could write a book, you could maybe organize a training. All these different things, you could set them up. At the same time, you can also be working, so that now you have your salary, but you also have other sources of income that are coming to you, maybe in bigger or a smaller way. In fact, the best way to usually do this would be to be earning your income as a salary person, because that is how many people start. But while you are doing that, make sure you set up other stream of income, maybe smaller, so that you are gaining the experiences as you go. The agenda or the strategy at the end of the day usually is that those different stream of income should one day replace your salary job, so that will be where you are earning your money. Because now, after a number of years, you would have gained more experience and know how to build businesses for yourself and learn how to lay more emphasis on those areas that are earning you money. Because if you are getting enough money from there, then you don't need your salary job anymore. In that sense, you have become free or financially independent. Now, what is the business application in storytelling? Well, share personal experiences or have you diversify your income through passive income stream. Describe how creative systems and processes allow your business to generate revenue consistently, even when you weren't directly involved. Encourage your audience to explore opportunity for building passive income in their own venture. Now, I want to say something there again, in that each and every one of us has the possibility to provide a solution to the marketplace. What do I mean by that? Maybe you have a friend who needs your service, and your service could be as simple as taking care of their children while they are away. That might be because when you finish your old job, you have maybe like 2 or 3 hours that is free for you. You don't want to spend that 2 to 3 hours just watching Netflix, watching Facebook, or watching YouTube, or watching home movie. You could spend it doing something for other person, because the only way you can really earn money is if you provide a solution to another person. Whatever solution you want to provide is up to you. So if you can spend maybe 2 hours helping somebody to solve their problem, then you can earn from that. That becomes one of your sources of income. Maybe you might decide that you have another hour again that is left for you. You spend that hour researching on how to write your first book. By the time you write your first book now, you can put it on Amazon to sell. That doesn't mean that you want to be on Amazon to sell the book. The Amazon platform is already set up. So you just put your book there to sell. Whether you are selling 100 or selling 1,000 or selling 1 copy or 3 copies, this does not disturb you from going to your day job, which means you have your income coming from your day job. Then you have the other woman that you are happy to take care of her child. Now you also have the book that you are selling. So these are the different sources of income that you can set up for yourself. These are just examples. And none of them actually disturb you from doing the other one. So that at the end of the day, by the time you look at the money that you are collecting from there, they are probably going to be little money. But when you put them together, it becomes reasonable for you and it can become very interesting for you as the time passes by. Lesson number 6, work to learn, not just to earn. This can be a very important part of the lesson. That Rich Dad advises Kiyosaki to focus on learning and acquiring valuable skills rather than just working for a paycheck. And you see, we are coming back again to this paycheck because paycheck look very enticing. But you need to understand that you need to learn, because lesson is actually the most profitable asset that you can get. In that what you learn from it is the most important asset for you. It's not just the money that they pay you. It may be, for example, what you are learning in the job that you are doing is how to communicate. That you are communicating, you are doing a consulting, for example, so you are communicating to different people. That is what they are paying you for. If you don't learn how to do better communication or better communicate with people, you could one day set up a business for yourself where you are into communication. You are helping, you can maybe start a podcasting, start a YouTube video, or anything outside the time that you are working for your paycheck. So, because you learn how to communicate now, you can communicate anything you want to communicate to a choosy audience, and you can earn from that. Because if you don't pay attention to what you are learning, or maybe the type of job that you are doing is not the one that offers you the opportunity to learn, you are just there for the purpose of paycheck. Now you see now that by the time you no longer do that job, you have nothing to take away. Even though really there are only a few jobs there that it doesn't allow you the opportunity to learn. Sometimes it's only the mindset that you have that is not allowing you to gather your knowledge. It is important that you pay attention to the job that you are doing, in that it must offer you the opportunity to learn, because what you learn from the job is the thing that you can actually cash on. What is the application in business storytelling? Well, tell a story from your career about a time when you prioritize learning over immediate financial gain. Describe how acquiring new skill and knowledge position you for long-term success. You can also encourage your audience to adopt a similar mindset of continuous learning and skill development in their professional journey. Lesson 7, Mindset Matter. I hope I can repeat that a number of times. The book underscores the significance of cultivating a wealth mindset, which is developing a positive attitude towards money and viewing obstacles as opportunity. You see, we are coming back again to the idea that there are a lot of obstacles on our way. There are challenges, there are difficulties. Now, I want you to think back to the example I was giving before of a child that is learning how to stand, how to sit, how to talk. There are a lot of mistakes that this individual is going to make, like many of us. Because I remember, for example, when I came to Italy in the August of 2004, even though I was already 24 years old when I got here, I didn't know anything about Italian language. In fact, I remember telling the first people that I came to meet there that I was going to write a book in Italian, and they actually laughed at me. Of course, because of the circumstances where I found them and all of that, how are you going to write a book here? they were really like laughing at me. But even me, I said this, I know I was going to do it though, even though I have no understanding of how to say even a word in Italian. I couldn't know how to say ciao, which is hello in Italian language. But I really convinced myself that I was going to do this. So now, look at me learning how to speak the first word in Italian language. Let me tell you a little story. When I got here, and we were sort of doing street hawking, going to sell maybe lighter and handkerchief. That is the job that we were doing as undocumented immigrant in Italy at the time. And they told me, those I was walking around with, told me I was going to say hello, which in Italian would mean ciao, buongiorno. They actually got messed up at the point because I didn't remember what was hello. Then I was using a Nigerian word. I think that was an Igbo word actually, which is micholu. At the point, I just got messed up. I thought it was micholu because somehow it got to my mind that there were some Italian words that sound like Nigerian words. So that was the only word that actually came to my mind, micholu. And mecholu, something in Igbo language we mean keep quiet, something like that. That was what I was telling the Italian on the street, because I didn't remember what was the Italian word for buongiorno. They're not really very similar, but for some reason, that was what came to my mind. And of course, when I remember that now, I still laugh a lot of time. So what I'm actually saying here is that we make a lot of mistake, uncountable mistake, when we are learning new things. I'm saying that there are a lot of challenges that you need to face if you want to set up a business and want to be successful in life. I want us to see that we need to build our mindset of saying that we want to learn, of saying that yes, there are challenges there, but we are going to overcome them, of saying that yes, it's not going to be easy, but we are going to do it all the same. If we build up this kind of mindset, there is no obstacle that is going to be bigger than our dream, our vision, and our kind of tomorrow that we are building today. That is why this lesson 7 is very important in the book, that we need to build our mindset for success. Now, how can you apply this in your business? Well, you can share personal anecdote where maintaining a positive mindset helped you to overcome challenges and setbacks in your business. Explain how cultivating a resilient mindset contributed to your success. Of course, we are talking about storytelling. We are talking about anecdote like the one I just shared with you of going around in the street telling people mecholo instead of buongiorno. Of course, that is an error I made on my own, but I didn't let that stop me because I couldn't speak Italian language. I would just sit at home. I would not do anything because I don't have anybody that is going to give me money to eat. In few weeks I'm here, I need to pay for my house rent and all of that because nobody invited me here. I came on my own. So I need to take up the responsibility of taking care of myself, of doing everything to be able to live here, pay my bill and all of it. So I have no one to wait for. I cannot sit at home. I need to have the mindset that it's going to be okay. Challenges, there were a lot of it, and I see a lot of it today. So what I'm essentially saying is that you need to encourage your audience to adopt a positive mindset, emphasizing that their belief and attitude can significantly impact their entrepreneurial journey. Incorporating this storytelling lesson into your business narrative can create a more engaging and relatable connection with your audience, ultimately fostering trust and loyalty. You see, why I share these 7 lessons from the book, Rich Dad and Poor Dad, is that sometimes we need to learn from others. It's not a mistake that we are talking about learning from the masters. Because you want to learn how to tell story in your business, you also need to learn from other people who have done it before. This is why we created this series where we learn from the masters. Even though this is actually taken from the book series, Storytelling Mastery. So if you pay attention to what I've shared with you today, you will see that you'll be able to tell a kind of story that will relate with the people. So I believe that you have gotten something out of this today. So have a wonderful time and see you in the next one. To learn more, join our Storytelling Mastery for Businesses at academy.aclasses.org/storytelling.